45-yard line. Emerson waiting for the wall to develop, gets out to the 43. This will be Hamilton's best field position of the game so far, with 5:48 to play in the first quarter.
I think Danny McManus, although he's handed off to R.G. Emerson only once so far in this game, he's got to get him involved in their back-to-back victories over Edmonton. R.G. Emerson had well over 100 yards receiving and rushing in both of those games. In fact, over 100 yards receiving in one and over 100 yards rushing in the other. So, you know, he is a real weapon in that backfield for Danny McManus, and I think he's got to touch the football soon.
Emerson lined up deep in the backfield along with Ronald Williams. You shall receive. Emerson out across the 45 to about the 47-yard line.
Well, Gord, when you look at this Hamilton team, and I mean, obviously they are different from a year ago, but how different are they? Well, they were last in rushing a year ago, and they only averaged about 85 yards a game. This year, they're up over 100 yards a game rushing, and I know Ron Lancaster, as a head coach, really emphasized that. He wasn't able to do it in the last couple of years in Edmonton, but with Hamilton, he really wants to have a better ball control team than they did a year ago, and he's getting it.
McManus on second down. Under pressure, going for Morreale. The pass is over his head and incomplete. We've talked about the fact this is a Hamilton-Toronto rivalry. It's also a renewal of the McManus-Kerwin-Bell rivalry, going back to their college days. Yeah, Bell was at the University of Florida, and Danny McManus, of course, Florida State, with an intense rivalry. So these guys have been not only through big rivalries before, but rivalries where they have faced each other, and Kerwin-Bell was mentioning that yesterday. And Danny McManus is not off to the start that he would have envisioned for this game, but to Toronto's credit, they are coming up, playing very tight on a good Hamilton receiving corps. They're not giving these receivers any room to maneuver, and they're having to work a little extra harder than they normally have to. McManus is 2 for 6 passing to start the game. Paul Baldwin has been the busiest tie catch so far. A low driving kick to Steve Smith back at his 15-yard line. Smith's a speedster trying to get outside. Rob Hitchcock prevented him from doing so. A 51-yard punt, a 15-yard return.
Welcome to the night.
David Amber with more from the sidelines.
Thanks, Gord. Yeah, you know, Mike O'Shea, it might be a little early to be calling him a prophet, but he did say before this game the Argos wanted to reestablish themselves as the top defense in the league. So far, they've been in Danny McManus' face quite a bit. He says Hamilton's getting all the press, being leading 13 of 25 defensive categories, but he says that they are the #1 defense, and so far he's living up to that. Back to you, Gord.
Right now, it's the Ticat defense on the field as Kerwin-Bell is able to dump the football off and get it out there to Andrew English. English should have a first down for the Argos, and he does. A gain of 12 for the ex-BC Lion. Now, this is really a strong man-to-man defense. One of the few times they've been in a zone tonight, and they just let English sit out there on the sidelines and spread the secondary out. When you catch them in a zone, what you want to do is stretch that as far as you can, and English just sat out there, and to Bell's credit, he picked them out, and the Argonauts have, I believe, their second first down of the game, the one long pass, and now this one to English. From the 36, Bell remains in the shotgun, gunning it over the middle for Daryl Mitchell, who's got the catch at midfield. Daryl Mitchell, who leads the league in receiving by 160 yards and leads the league in catches by 16 receptions, has another big gain of 18. And he has a great feel for coming over the middle. Here he is right here, and he's going to work on Frank West, the kind of pseudo linebacker, but Daryl Mitchell, really watch him now. When he gets into open territory, watch how he slows down. Right now, he knows he's in the hole. All he has to do is wait for the football. It's a good read by Bell to get it into the hole, knowing his receiver will be there waiting for it. First down for the Argos, and they give it off to the pinball. Mike Clemens out of that shotgun formation takes a lot of abuse. Joe Monfort able to wrap him up along with Gonzalo Floyd. Maybe a gain of 1 for the pinball. You know, Gord, I did some projections with Daryl Mitchell coming into the game. 64 catches, had some tonight, but that would project out to 165 receptions over the season. His yardage, a whopping 1,946. Can he keep up that pace? I don't think so, but he's off to a great start and certainly is the biggest weapon in the Argonaut offense right now. Only 2 touchdowns, though, and that's symptomatic of what's happened with Toronto this year. Absolutely. Gain of less than a yard for pinball on second down. Bell swings it out, and it's caught by the fullback, Dwayne Dimitrishi, who goes out of bounds at the 40-yard line of the Ticats. Dimitrishi had a great Vanier Cup game in this building some 9 years ago. as a big first down for Toronto.
Well, as you see an end zone replay here, watch the offensive line in Toronto. They pick up the double stunt by Hamilton, and really that's been a problem for them the last few weeks. They haven't protected the quarterback, but a terrific job there to pick up the stunt and allow Bell the time to pick out Dwayne Demetrician and keep this drive going rather. But the line has given up 26 sacks, worst in the league. But to their credit, they're getting better and better each week, and only gave up 2 against a strong Montreal pass rush a week ago.
On first down, Bell remaining in the shotgun for most of this game. As time passes, tip goes to Daryl Mitchell, and he's got room to run. Mitchell around the corner. And finally run down by Eric Carter at the 13-yard line. Mitchell again with a big game, this time 27 yards.
Well, again, a lot of credit goes to the offensive line of Toronto Argonauts. Watch this. Good protection for Bell. He's standing tall up on that front foot. They're not long passes to complete. The ball was tipped just a little bit, but to Mitchell's credit, he had the concentration to hang on. And, well, this is a heck of a drive that they finally put together and done it all with the passing game.
Yeah, the run has been really a non-factor here. Pinball with a gain of 1 has really been the only rushing play the Argos have had. Now from the shotgun. Bell under pressure is sacked. Joe Monfort didn't miss him that time. The Argos, who have given up more sacks than any team in the league, are victimized by Joe Monfort.
Well, his 8th sack this season. You'll see him come from the left side of your screen, and it's just quickness as he beats Willie Williams, number 65, and Williams is going to have to get out there a little quicker on that play. But, you know, just when Toronto was driving, you know, here the big defensive play by Monfort. You like those arms, do you?
Look, they pour him into that uniform.
But this has been typically Toronto's problem the last few weeks. Mistake in the red zone, and now they're stuck behind the 8 ball.
Second and a bundle. Bell to the end zone for Mitchell. Touchdown! Nothing like the league's leading receiver to get you out of a hole. Daryl Mitchell with his 3rd touchdown reception of the year.
Well, what a great adjustment to the football by Daryl Mitchell. He wanted to take it to the corner over his outside shoulder, but whether Bell did this on purpose, only he knows. He threw it to the inside. He sees the blitz coming. He goes to his big play guy in man-to-man coverage with Frank West, but tremendous body control by Mitchell to turn around and adjust to the football, locate it, and make the catch, and hey, that was a great drive.
Eric Vigos for the point after. It is good, just like old times for the Argos. A 10-0 lead on Hamilton with 26 seconds to go in the opening quarter.
Well, you talk about old times. How many times would Doug Flutie just throw it up knowing that his receiver had enough skill and athleticism to adjust and make the play? And you're going to see Daryl Mitchell right in the middle of your screen. There he is. And, you know, watch it. He's looking outside. Let me tell you, that is a tough play to turn all the way around, locate the football, and make the catch. That's terrific.
Daryl Mitchell has 3 catches in this opening quarter for 70 yards and a touchdown. He's already had 3 100-yard receiving games this year.
Oh, he's had a great year. And, you know, offensively, when you know you're up against the #1 defense in the league and you have struggled in point production the last few weeks, this really helps your confidence. They struggle on their first couple of possessions, but now put a beautiful drive together. And, you know, the guys are making big plays. Daryl Mitchell with a short catch and a lot of great yards after the catch, and now the touchdown reception on an excellent athletic play.
And Vigos now to kick it off. Less than a minute to go in the quarter.
You know, this game is all about emotion, feeling good about yourself, what your schemes are, what you're trying to do. And, you know, that drive for Toronto goes a long way to restoring their confidence.
Archie Emerson takes the kickoff at the 16-yard line. Hamilton needs some kind of big play. Emerson will get up close to the 40 as Calvin Tiggo makes the stop. What a drive by the Toronto Argonauts, though, as they cut through the league's #1 defense. Daryl Mitchell making big catches as they go. And, of course, the passing game, as you mentioned, is pretty much accounting for all of Toronto's offense this season. Daryl Mitchell caps it off with a 25-yard touchdown.
Well, essentially, they did it with a lot of underneath routes, crossing routes, and then, of course, they go for the big one over the top, which they've been successful twice tonight, once to Williams, of course, and the previous series they got a field goal with Nigel Williams making the big catch in the post play.
Ticats start from their 40. McManus dumps it off for Archie Emerson. Out to the 46-yard line he goes. and a gain of 6.
Gord, it's going to be interesting tonight to watch the Toronto defense and to see what the philosophy might be. They historically, more than 50% of their sacks have come from linebackers or defensive backs. I'm not sure they can take that chance against McManus tonight. He's been reading the blitz so well all season.
So far, so good for the Argo defense. It has not allowed a point in the football game as Toronto takes a 10-0 lead after the opening quarter.
You're watching CFL Live, and we're at the quarter. Here's your host, James Duffy.
All right, welcome back to TSN Football Control. You know, Hamilton fans can't be happy about this. They get all hyped for the game all week long, and Toronto dominates the first quarter. Hamilton goes 2 and out every time they had the ball in that first quarter, and the Toronto offense also moving it, and it all started with this play. And Chris, key one for the Argos.
Very key one for the Argos, and you look at this, the separation created by Nigel Williams-Speed with Eric Carter, but really, Rob Hitchcock has to have the ability to support that inside-out pattern, that post pattern. That's critical. The Argos are going to go back to this play again and again, once a quarter. The scouting report on Rob Hitchcock, great run supporter, but you can use his lack of speed against him. He has to jump on that play earlier, but good quarter for the Toronto Argonauts.
You're right. It is a solid first quarter for them. John Jenkins and staff doing a great job with motion and with multiple formations to confuse the Hamilton defense. And I think when you throw the ball effectively deep, as they've done twice now to Nigel Williams and to Daryl Mitchell, it opens up a lot of things underneath, James. So a good first quarter for the Argos.
Yeah, and a couple of those Argos making early plays to be players of the week. Of course, there's a long way to go. Let's check out our players of the week from last week. Jeff Garcia, of course, with that great performance for Calgary. Andre Strode on defense, and Jamie Crysdale, another Stampeder, the top lineman. And those Stamps and those Lions, well, they're at it later on tonight, our next game. So if you're watching this one out in BC, watch this and go out and see the other game. Second quarter action, here's Gordon Lee.
Thanks, guys. 7 plays, 84 yards for the Argos, who finish a drive and move the ball impressively. Daryl Mitchell with a 25-yard touchdown reception. The runaway winner of the Rookie of the Year award last year is the runaway leader in the receiving department in the Canadian Football League this year.
From rookie to MVP.
Ooh, that's a bold statement.
It's early.
Jeff Garcia is probably not watching since he's playing later tonight, but he might have something to say about that, and Danny McManus for the Ticats may have something to say as well.
Wow, that's a long way to go, but what a terrific start that Daryl Mitchell's had personally, and he has really carried this offense so far.
Ticats did not record a first down in the opening quarter. Now facing 2nd and 5. Here comes the blitz. McManus over the top for Bobby Olive. Hand fighting down there. It falls incomplete. And the coverage step for step provided by Clifton Abraham.
And Bobby Olive did a terrific, subtle job to push off from Clifton Abraham. Abraham laughing because he really feels like he was interfered with. You're going to see the top of your screen if just at the end of this play, the subtle push by Bobby Olive, but he just couldn't gain enough separation to make that catch. Again, McManus, though, against the blitz, he sure read the right place to go. He just couldn't connect.
Osbaldiston to punt. The Argos, despite using 5 different punt returners this year, lead the league in punt return yards.
Well, they've had some awful luck with injuries, bad luck with injuries back there. Seems like every week someone new has to fill that role. Osbaldiston to Lester Smith. And he collides with Steve Smith. Lester Smith comes away with it at the 30 and breaks away. Smith out across midfield. Tripped up as Jared Smith got a piece of him. But that miscommunication might have led to the good return. Well, when that happens, how many times you get a big play because you could throw a blanket over the cover guys from the Hamilton punt cover team. Watch when this ball is on the ground, how many Ticats just converge to that area. I mean, look at this. There's all pretty near the whole punt cover team is there, and Lester Smith breaks loose and gets some great yardage, but you must have 8, 9 guys sitting in one little spot, and Argos get a big return. A 40-yard punt, a 40-yard return. The Argos have it at the Hamilton 45. Bell from the shotgun. Drops it off underneath and completes to Andrew English. He's got a first down and a bunch. Collides with his own teammate, Daryl Mitchell, and gets down to the 26-yard line. Confusion, misdirection. What's going on out there? Well, there's confusion. I'll tell you who's not confused is the offensive line of the Toronto Argonauts. They are doing just a tremendous job. Watch the pocket that they create for Kerwin Bell. Is this a good passing lane downfield? Look at that. Right there to Andrew English. That is the easiest catch he's ever going to make. Got lots of room. So, you know what? They've stretched out the defense, as Eric Tillman in the studio said, with over the top. Now they're killing Hamilton with the underneath pattern.
On first down, Bell to the end zone. Mitchell incomplete. Orlando Steinauer is there with him. Crowd calling for pass interference as Steinauer had the hands up in his face, but it falls incomplete.
Well, you look at the production that Kerwin Bell's had in this first half. 7 of 12, 161 yards. That's terrific already. 1 touchdown, no interceptions. Almost connecting with Darrell Mitchell on this play, but you give a guy like Kerwin Bell with his experience this amount of time to throw, and remember, they're going against the best sacking defense in the league right now, so tremendous kudos to the 5 offensive linemen up front.
That's 7 straight passing plays for the Argos in the football game. Second down. This will be 8. Bell's under pressure. Now he'll have to run. Loses the football. And it looks like Orlando Steinauer got it back. Had it for a moment. Slipped
He
through
had
his
it,
hand,
lost it.
and it's Argo football. A gigantic break for Toronto. Orlando Steinauer appeared to have possession for a moment, but the indication from the officials is that it is Toronto football.
Yeah, it looked like Steinauer had it and then lost it, and the Toronto Argonauts dodge a huge bullet as they recover. They will be short of the first down, however.
But they'll have a chance for points.
Boy, what an adventure when Kerwin Bell has run the last few weeks. I mean, he does the right thing. There's nobody there, and he steps up, and, you know, we'll see right here who makes the play. Coming from behind, Gonzalo Floyd tips the ball loose. There it is. I'm not sure he tipped it or Bell just didn't lose it. Now the fun starts.
Eric Bigos now from the 25-yard line. Paul Mazzotti is the holder. Bigos puts it up and good. So the break for the Argos leads directly to 3 points. 12:29 to play in the first half. The Argos lead the Ticats 13-0 on the CFL Live. Big crowd here tonight. The Argos best of the season, and there's the number to call if you'd like to attend the game in the Toronto area. And we thank the Argos for lifting the blackout tonight so the entire country can see the Argos and the Ticats.
And they have a good crowd on hand. You know, Gord,
they have a 13-0 lead.
Yes, and I think it's a critical series for Danny McManus. Toronto, 2 great drives in a row to score 10 of their 13 points, and I think Hamilton has to answer.
So far, nothing. Archie Amerson on the carry, and he is brought down immediately on the play by Eric Johnson, number 27, who comes in for Toronto.
Yeah, and Jermaine Haley really got, he is shot like a cannon up through here. He makes the first contact. He just sheds the block right away, and he's there on Amerson early. Eric Johnson cleans up, but anytime your front 4 gets penetration like that on a running play, 9 times out of 10, you've got no chance for success.
Argos going with a 3-man front now as Johnson remains in there on 2nd and long. McManus flares it high, picked off by Lester Smith. Right at midfield, Danny McManus just aired that one out. The Argos get the ball right back close to midfield.
And Danny McManus has been throwing high all evening. It hasn't hurt him up until now. He had a receiver open. You see clearly there he's trying to get it over the linebackers and into Mike Morreale, but he just simply overthrows in one of the easier interceptions Lester Smith will have in his career. Look at Morreale's open. That's a tough throw to complete. The layers that the Argo defense have right now are perfectly positioned between linebackers and secondary. It makes for very, very difficult throws to complete.
7th interception of the season thrown by Danny McManus. The Argos with the ball at their own 54. Miscommunication as Bell can't find Clemens. Now Mike Clemens gets maybe 3. Kerwin Bell looked around and there was nobody home. He saw cheerleaders.
He waited. And it's nice when you have a 13-point lead because you can kind of laugh about those plays. But watch how long Mike Clemens, he's waiting. Like, give it to me. Give it to me.
That has to be the loneliest feeling in the world, to turn around and the guy you're supposed to hand it to isn't there.
And what's more unusual is they picked up positive yardage.
That's twice that's happened. Once on the punt return when 2 Argos collided. Now on that play. Across midfield we go again. Bell, lots of time. And it's intercepted the other way. Picked off by Gerald Vaughn. He gets it it right back for Hamilton, and now moves up the sidelines, all the way down to the 40-yard line. Gerald Vaughn with his 3rd interception of the year. And the Ticats add to their league-leading total. They now have 21 as a team.
So the Ticats answer quickly with great defense, as you might expect, and only rushed 3 men that time, sat back in his zone coverage, which they don't do a lot. We talked about that, but great anticipation when the ball was in the air by Gerald Vaughn, and he leaves his area, comes across, and makes the key interception, his 3rd of the year.
9 different Ticats have interceptions this year. The Calgary Stampeders are 2nd interceptions. They only have 10 total.
I mean, that is a phenomenal statistic to have 9 players with a pick already in week 8.
From the 44, McManus wants it right now. Darren Flutie, who has yet to catch a pass in the game, has it knocked away. It falls incomplete as the coverage was provided by Byron Capers.
And Danny McManus is not sharp tonight. He's thrown the ball poorly here in the first half, and that was a touchdown pass that should have been, but badly underthrown, and Capers able to get a handoff, but Darren Flutie had him beaten by 3 steps. Had McManus put some airtime on it, that was 6.
First time we've mentioned Darren Flutie's name tonight.
That's right. Well, and there's the reason why. He's only completed 3 balls.
Big 2nd down now for the Ticats. 9:45 to play in the first half. McManus under pressure. Just gets it away. Flutie's got the catch and a 1st down to the 27-yard line, and Flutie makes a big catch, and his first comes at an opportune time for Hamilton.
And you know what? That's tough to complete into a 9-man zone. Hamilton, or Toronto rather, only rushed 3 people. And Darren Flutie does a heck of a job to find the open zone. There's 82 right in the middle of your screen, and he just sits in there. Now he's working to an open spot. Makes himself a good target. McManus finds it.
Now McManus going over the top. Incomplete. Same play we saw a moment ago, and the same individuals involved. It was Darren Flutie working on Byron Capers, the first-year man out of Florida State.
They're getting close. I mean, the play calling is the right plays. Hamilton is very close. They're just not executing right now. They're doing the right things mentally and physically. They're just not getting the execution.
Talking to Danny McManus on a flight the other day coming back from Edmonton, saying that he's getting better with age, and he laughed, yeah, by the time I'm 50 I'll be unstoppable. 2nd down now, McManus in the shotgun. Lots of time for McManus. He's got a man open in the end zone. Andrew Gregg, incomplete. Andrew Gregg was all by himself in the end zone, and McManus can't believe they missed.
But again, McManus underthrew the receiver, and you'll see Andrew Gregg at the top. He finally just works his way downfield and is able to get open, but the ball again is underthrown, and as the defense comes back to Gregg, there you see he's supposed to be picked up deep by Capers. Capers just lets him go by, but enough of a distraction as the ball is underthrown that he doesn't make the catch. He should have caught it.
Osbaldiston now to try a field goal from the 34-yard line. Puts it up, and it is good. Paul Osbaldiston, the league's leading scorer, on pace to have his best season, has Hamilton's first points. 8:19 to go in the first half. The Ticats trail the Argos by 10.